All right, here we go. So, week ahead, looking at the week ahead, it's cold and it's going to get colder. It is a high of 34 in Boone on Thursday and Friday. So, the grim reality is about to set in on what's going to happen with people in tents that haven't wanted to leave where they're at. And whenever it starts getting a high of 34 and the lows in the teens, it's going to be really hard for a family to stay where they're at. So we need more campers, more tiny homes, more places for people to go. We're still getting the tent from Nashville. It should have been here by now. Um, got the tables and the chairs, but the tent was a lot bigger, and we had to send a bigger flatbed for it, which that tent will double as a tent revival. But the main thing right now is it's going to be a warm place for other tents to set up in and keep the rain and snow off of the tents that are there. It's not gonna be good. So anyone that has a camper, has a van, has anything that you can donate. I did hear back from Carl Gillespie. They are, if you read the submission that we sent about the taxes and fees on campers getting donated, they are trying to implement that and figure out how to actually make that work. Uh, so that's good. They're actually listening. They did submit um, and I think they're doing an excellent job. All of them. They're actually submitting or trying to look into where the colleges and universities and trade schools can help us rebuild Western North Carolina and how that can fit in. So, but the grim reality is it's going to be cold, and we have to find every way possible to get campers, get tiny homes, get places for people to stay that have a heater. And just so you know, if you have a propane heater in your house, it cannot be completely sealed up. Um, that's that's not good either. So you can't burn stoves, grills in the house, anything with propane. Dude, you can't have that just completely sealed. Uh, People do need to know that. On this week, so we hired our first person through that was a individual who stepped up first thing whenever this happened and started working in their community to save their community. And this week, today, Allison over in Black Mountain, if you have been to Black Mountain at all and you've been to the Ingalls there, the garden center, Allison came in, took over the garden center, made it one of the best ran distribution centers that I've seen. Whenever I went there the first time, well, actually, Taylor Cook had went and said we needed to help them, and he mentioned Allison, and then I went and talked to Allison, and I was just blown away. Uh, Not who you think it would be, somebody that steps up and takes control, but she does, and uh, I'm over there this next time, and the Army's taking orders from her, and they all report to her when they can leave, when they can be there, and it's really a thing of beauty to watch. So we're hiring her so she can continue. That's what WNC Strong is about, is giving these people who and Mountain Lion Submission, but giving these people who stepped up and helped the community and still want to help the community, and the community still needs them to help, giving them a way to have a job so they can continue to do that. So Allison's going to come in through the nonprofit and work at the distribution center. And she actually set up her own nonprofit, and she is looking for a distribution center in Black Mountain to move the one from Ingalls over to. So if you know of a location in Swannanoa, Black Mountain, that she could do that, let us know. Let us look at it. She is also going to help us film the rebuild, help us shoot. She's a photographer, so she's going to shoot uh, photography for us, videography. Austin Marvel, who is with us, is training her on the videography. She already had the photography. So I think it's really cool. And if you get a chance, go to Black Mountain and see Allison. She does not fit the description of someone who would step up and just take over if you looked at her, but her personality is, and she's got a big personality, and she brought it. So we're really happy to be able to hire her and give her a way to continue to help the community and continue to be an asset to Black Mountain and Swannanoa. Ann Bogus, who works for us also, she was she was actually the first hire out of this. She is organizing a WNC Strong Women's Retreat. It's for the survivors of Hurricane Helene, and she is going to have that at a church outside of the area. She wants it to where we can take a bus, pick the women and the children up for the weekend, 3-day weekend, take it to where they can actually just talk and enjoy themselves, put the hurricane behind them for a little bit. She's going to have childcare during the day for the kids, so the women can go and really just catch back up and remember what it's like just a fellowship. So she's working on that, and Alice, Anne is doing a fabulous job in everything she's doing for us. To the point, she she's sort of like me; she doesn't sleep enough, and it takes a toll on you. It really does. Whenever you're working 16 hours a day and sleeping a couple hours a night. But Ann is doing a fantastic job. If you know a survivor that would like to be a um, to go to this retreat, let us know. Reach out. If you are a survivor and you want to go to the retreat, let us know. Of course, we can only have so many on the first one, but hopefully it's something that goes really well, and then we can have another one. And we'll also start looking at something to do with the gentlemen too. But right now, it's more they need to be there to take care of the situation. So that's something we'll get to. We are releasing. This is something Ann came up with as well. Whenever she was traveling, Army wife, they did this fundraiser, and it's a dollar fuel campaign. So it's either on our site or is about to be on our site, and it's just something you can scan and donate $1. And that dollar goes for fuel for heating. And right now, that is, besides getting somewhere to stay, that is the most critical thing. I don't know if you saw Fox News, but Rhonda from Prime Fuels was on there. And basically, there's a possibility people don't have heat this winter, living in a camper, living in a tent, or living in a house. And it's a big number, it's a big expense. It's one that we're going to have to take care of. And if you want to donate to that, if you need to donate to a nonprofit, of course, we can send you the nonprofit info. If you know of a big corporation you think might want to have a write-off before the end of the year and donate to the fuel campaign, that would be great. But the dollar campaign, we'll have it up. Hopefully gas stations let us put it up, and you basically just scan it, donate the dollar, and that dollar goes for fuel. And once we have the fuel done, if we get the fuel paid, it's roughly about $3 million right now that we need to raise. If we get the fuel paid, then the next one will be go to housing. We've got to be able to keep people warm for the winter. And speaking of that, if you donate a camper, or if you have donated, or if you're over there, if this is something that can be easily done and it will make the trailers easier to heat, is if you get skirting around them, and that's any kind of skirting. You can get the thick plastic that you put underneath houses, vapor barriers, but anything to keep the cold air from going back and forth underneath the camper can make a huge difference. And put a little heater underneath the camper with that skirting up. That can reduce the heating bill or the need for heat by 20-30%. So that's something to be thinking of if you're out there, or if you can find some way to donate some of that, or go help somebody put it around their camper that's up. That's a big one. Bourbon, remember the bourbon auction? John Petrowski with Charlotte's Best Pulls. He donated these 5 bottles. These are 5 expensive bottles. The Weller Antique 107. He was actually the first one. Whenever he saw that we were doing the bourbon auction and donation, he was the first one to text me. Thank you, John. And we have some more that's coming in. Diane Ledbetter there in Franklin she's actually at the ABC store. She's been finding some very nice bottles that we're going to pick up. But if you have bourbon and you want to donate, and you get a tax write-off. So that's, you donate bourbon. I know you probably want to drink it, but you can donate it and get a tax write-off for it. So that's a big thing. And we're going to take donations, probably going to end them this Friday, because I did not know this. We have to get them fully approved by the ABC board, even though it's a nonprofit auction, and they'll approve it. It just has to go through the process. So we've got to get those in, get them photographed, do the exact number, send the serial number that's printed on the bottle, and Wyatt and Son Auctions is going to do that for us. So it'll be online. Then we'll probably end it live at Golden Leaf in Lane Tree. So if you have bourbon, donate, help some people out. The Moke raffle. So you can either buy a Moke. This goes strictly to housing. You can buy a Moke, and anything over the wholesale goes to buy a single wide for someone, or you can buy a Moke raffle ticket. Two of the ones that we raffle, if we sell the 400 tickets, 2 raffles, so 800 tickets, we'll end up buying 1 single wide furnished. If we get the actual retail on these, it'll take about 3. Or you can buy one for more than what the retail is and write it off. You can write anything over, and I'm not positive what part you can write off, but you can write it off because it's going to a nonprofit. So that's a big thing. Buy the Moke raffle tickets, though. We will put it up here. And last thing for the night, going right along with that. So Josh's Market in Mooresville. If you've been to Josh's Market, you love it. Josh has been absolutely awesome through all of this. He is, taking donations there. He's been a major hub for donations out of Mooresville. He, first one to step up. He has, helped us with the pumpkins whenever we did that. He's sent money. He's just organized a ton of stuff. And if you know Josh's Market, you love it anyway. But Josh is one. He's going to let us put a Moke there, and we'll have the raffle info or the buy info. You can buy it right there. We come do the paperwork. You can take it with you. If you live in the Point or the Peninsula, what a better way to get around, or any neighborhood really. So you'll be able to buy one right there, or you can just scan and do the raffle ticket, $100 a ticket. Buy 400 of them. And the other thing he's going to do is he's going to start selling WNC Strong merch. So that'll be sort of the first retail location. If you have a store anywhere in the U.S., if it's in Western North Carolina, if it's in Charlotte, Knoxville, Atlanta, Miami, Los Angeles, it doesn't matter, and you would like to sell the WNC Strong merch to help out with the cause of rebuild, let us know. The thing that we really want to push with this is we want to get the story out. So we want to put the story of the storm, the story of the recovery. So it's really more, instead of just selling the merch, it's more about getting the story out to everyone. And if we have these retail locations across the country, we're able to put a storyboard, show what's happening, have a donation site, or QR code you can scan and donate right there, then that's just as important as actually selling the merch itself. A portion of any of the profit from the merch goes to the rebuild, and that's usually over 50%. So that's good. But getting the story out, because people still don't know, and it's just amazing. I told you about the guy in Texas who, the bourbon guy, and then New York and Miami. Talk to people that should know, that they watch the news, they see the stuff, and they have no idea what actually happens. So it blows me away. I don't know what else to say about it. It just absolutely blows me away. Besides that, if you live in Huntersville, Cornelius, we're actually meeting with Chris from Boatyard Eats on Wednesday. He's going to help us organize a fundraiser there. That'll be a fun one. We'll have live entertainment. We're organizing one at Open Tap in Charlotte. Shannon McMasters is organizing one in the equestrian community in South Carolina, maybe Ocala. She's working through it right now. We're talking about it as we go. Sean, you can help us in Atlanta. anyone around the country can help us. Sean, that'd be great to help us in Atlanta. But if you are in anywhere, Florida, Virginia, Tennessee, Wyoming, and you would like to do a fundraiser or like to sell merch for us or be a brand ambassador and sell merch through your social media, let us know. We can get you hooked up with a link and you can start putting it out there for us. That's the whole point of it. So we can hire people like Allison in Black Mountain that stepped up and helped save her community. We want to hire as many of those people as possible, get them on payroll so they can continue to help the communities in the neighborhoods. And we will have a full interview with Allison. We're going to go up. Austin's coming up. We've got some camera equipment we're going to take to her, and Austin's going to come up, deliver that, show her the videography, what she needs to do, and keep going. But if you have one of those heroes out there and they want to keep working, let us know. We're trying to get it organized where we can hire as many as possible. But things like selling the merchandise and selling the auction off the Mokes or buying a Moke, that's the kind of things that help us be able to hire those people. Right now, we're kind of going out on a limb. We haven't made the money, but all right, Sean, you're brand ambassador. I'm going to hold you to it. I signed the Delaware Corporation papers today for WNC Strong. So this has never been done before. We're trying to have 100,000 owners in WNC Strong. And why? Because we want all of Western North Carolina to own it. And this has never been done. So it hasn't been easy. And at first, the lawyers thought that it was impossible and we were crazy. But luckily, William McGuire, who I met, I think I went through that story, he knew the laws and he figured out how to make it work. And it wasn't possible until 2021. Actually, 2016 was the start of it. And something with COVID happened. And in 2021, being able to have 100,000 plus owners worked. And we're just happy to we're just happy to be able to actually do this. And nobody has a big ownership. I have 1%, and that's to manage it and run it. It's not like no one's going to have any more ownership than that. There's a few people that will be actually running WNC Strong that will have 1%. And that's if it's a full-time job. Of course, I've still got to do my other job as well. And that's what I've been focusing on today. And through the next 3 weeks, I'm going to have to focus on that. We have a sale coming up on Lake Wiley on December 7th. So that I've got to kind of switch gears for a little bit. But the good part is I've got most of the pieces. Me and William and the WNC Strong team have most of the pieces in place right now. And there's more coming along. So it's going to take off. The key is everyone buying in together, everyone working for one cause. And there's a lot of people using WNC Strong, and we haven't said anything because they're using it for what it's supposed to be used for. But if you are using WNC Strong, I would really like for everyone to come together and use it as one so it can grow bigger and create a way for us to rebuild. If we all work together, if we're all working in different areas, then it's going to be hard to make one big voice. We want to have a massive voice. We want to have the voice that goes to Washington, D.C. We want to have the voice that makes it overseas. We want to have the voice that makes it, to L.A. And if we're all working together, we can do that. If we're all doing our own separate thing, I did get frustrated last week because, not everybody's wanting to come on board. And I get that, but we're going to have to. That's how we're going to raise the money and get this done. So anyway, like I said, if you are struggling, if you need help mentally, physically, spiritually, reach out to us. Reach out to your pastor. Reach out to somebody. You can DM me. My phone number is all over the internet. You can text me. So reach out to us, and we will get you help in one way or the other. So say your prayers tonight, and much love.